Hello, beautiful sisters. This is Suzette Winona Summers, creator of The Journey Back to Your Sacred Wild Self. And I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. No, I'm just joking. But I did want to talk about us using that word, I'm sorry. I know we so often do that. Do you find yourself doing that? Like, I know I see women do it all the time. Being at the grocery store and trying to get my cart around, and I'll say, "Excuse me," and they'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry," as if they don't have the right to take up space, as if they're getting in my way, and I see it all the time. I know I've done it, and I know I do it sometimes. And why do we do that? Why do we feel like we don't have a right to be or to do things like take up space or change plans or interrupt someone? It's not out of rudeness. We don't always need to apologize. Of course, like if I step on someone's toe, I'm going to say I'm sorry. But if I'm out at the grocery store and I meet a friend and I start talking to them, and my child comes up to me and is, Mommy, can I get this? I'm not going to say, I'm sorry. I'm going to say, thanks for being patient a minute. I really need to talk to my child, right? We can do that. We don't have to apologize for things that happen in our life. And when we say I'm sorry for things that aren't, that I'm going to say that we shouldn't or that we don't have to, what we're doing, we're setting up a power imbalance. Like we are less than, like we are subservient, like we should have to kind of like bow down, like we're not worthy of being here. And we're worthy. We're worthy of speaking our truth. We're worthy of taking up space. We're worthy of taking a moment when we need to. It also shows that we feel like we're not worthy. Like, why do we feel like we're not worthy? That's something to explore, because you are worthy. You are worthy. You are inherently worthy. If someone made you feel unworthy in the past, it's not the truth. The truth is now, and the truth is that you are worthy. And here's another thing. When we say we're sorry, it also is because we're looking for external validation. A lot of times we're looking for somebody to say, no, you are worthy, right? We'll say, oh, I'm sorry, because we're looking for someone to say, oh, it's okay, or it's okay for you to take up space. It's okay for you to use your voice. It's okay for you to change plans. And we really don't need that external validation, because even when they give it to us, it's still not going to sit right. We need our own validation. We need to know that we are worthy. And here's the thing. You need to be honest with your feelings and be respectful of them, and and be real with the process. But at the same time, sometimes we need to change our behavior. We need to act as if. So we step into a situation acting as if we're worthy, even if we're still not fully believing it. We are owning it, and over time we will start believing it. So we act as if we are worthy. We don't say we're sorry. And here's an alternative. So say you've made a plan with a friend and an emergency comes up at home. Maybe somebody has to go to the doctor. A lot of times people, what would you do? You call and you say, oh, I'm sorry, an emergency came up. I'm not going to be able to meet you. Again, you're using I'm sorry. So what's an alternative? You could say, hey, an emergency came up at home and I'm not going to be able to meet you. Thank you for being so understanding of this, right? It's a different dynamic. We're giving them the opportunity. We are assuming the best of them, And we are owning the fact that we have the right to say, I can't do this. We're taking responsibility for ourselves, and we are assuming the best response from other people. And here's another thing. When you catch yourself, okay, say if you do say, you're watching your words, you're trying not to say I'm sorry, and then you find yourself saying, oh, I'm sorry, and you feel like, oh, I did it again. No, you didn't. You can say, okay, hold on, let me rephrase that. Thank you for being patient while I do this. Or let me rephrase this. What I meant to say was, I'm grateful that you're so patient while I take care of my child. Do you understand the difference there? You're shifting that energy. And here's the other thing. So say you're about to say you're sorry, but you don't actually go into it. You don't actually say, I'm sorry. Well, you can say instead, you see yourself about to do it, you can say, I am a blessing to the world. My presence is a blessing. I am worthy. So instead of saying, I'm sorry, say, I am worthy. I'm a blessing. And say it inside your mind. I mean, you can say it out loud too if you want, but say it, my existence is a blessing. And as you say that in your mind, when you start to say, I'm sorry, when you stop yourself and you say in your mind, my existence is a blessing, over time, you start to realize that your existence is a blessing, and you can stop apologizing for needing things or changing appointments or whatever it is that you're apologizing for that you don't need to. You're really worthy. You are worthy, and your existence really is a blessing. And I just want to get that message to you, and I want you to hear it in your heart. Use these tools. Start telling yourself, my existence is a blessing. And instead of saying, I'm sorry, say, thank you for being considerate. Thank you for being patient. Shift it. The words we say matter. They really do. And you matter. And as you appear strong, and as you treat yourself with love, and as you treat yourself that you are worthy and you are a blessing to this world, you are going to start feeling more empowered. You are going to start showing up more empowered. You are going to be able to set boundaries because you're going to respect yourself, and you are going to have a sense of, I belong. I belong. I have the right to take up space. I have the right to ask for what I want. I have the right to get my needs met. It's all part of this weaving together and empowerment process. And so glad you're here. Thanks for listening. I hope you got something out of it. Blessings.